Okay. With everyone here, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It is now 5:38, so we do have everyone here except for Jet, and so we do have a quorum. If we could we stand and pledge the flag, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. We have several minutes to approve tonight, so if we could, everybody's gone back and reread everything and make sure we're in good shape. We're going back to the Recreation Commission minutes from June 13th of this year. The minutes have been distributed to you, and a majority of tonight's members were present to the June 13th, 2023 meeting. Commissioner Beach, I ask that you please abstain. If you have not had the opportunity to review the minutes, are there any corrections? None. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting? The minutes, excuse me.
I move to approve the minutes as written from June 13th, 2023.
Do I have a second?
A second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Rand and seconded by Commissioner Norton that we approve the minutes as written from the June 13th, 2023 Recreation Commission meeting. I will now call for a vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Commissioners, we have the system live, so
Oh.
you will use your microphone bases.
So let's,
Just
if we all could vote on that, please.
Yep, just touch the appropriate response on the screen. Right above the button you should be pushing when you speak.
Oh, that was me. I can tell you.
Yes. The result is 7 yeses, 1 abstain, so it passes. Thank you. The next one is our Recreation Commission minutes from June 28th, 2023. The minutes have been distributed to you, and a majority of tonight's members were present at the June 28th, 2023 work session. Commissioner Bowers and Scott, I ask that you please abstain if you have not had an opportunity to review the minutes. Are there any corrections? None. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes as written from the June 28th, 2023 Recreation Commission work session.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
It has been moved by Commissioner Keegan and seconded by Commissioner Norton that we approve the minutes as written from the June 28th, 2023 Recreation Commission work session. I will now call for a vote. All those in favor, please vote. The result is 6 yeses, 2 people abstained, and the motion has passed. We're looking at the Recreation Commission meetings from July 11th. The minutes have been distributed to you. However, based on the members present tonight, we do not have a majority representation of those in attendance on the July 11th, 2023 meeting. As a result, the minutes will be deferred for approval at our next regular meeting of the Recreation Commission. We'll now move on to the minutes from July 26th, 2023. The minutes have been distributed to you, and the majority of tonight's members were present at the July 28th, 2023 work session. Commissioners Bowers, Rand, and Scott, I ask that you please abstain if you have not, if you have not had an opportunity to review the meeting. Are there any corrections? Can I ask for a motion to approve the meetings?
I move to approve the minutes as written from the July 26th, 2023 Recreation Commission work session.
Do we have a second?
A second.
You just didn't. We all know what's coming. It has been moved by Commissioner Carla. Yes, and seconded by Commissioner Beach, that we approve the meetings as written from the July 26, 2023 Recreation Commission work session. I will now call for a vote. All those in favor, please vote. We have 5 yeses, 3 people abstain, so the vote has passed. Thank you. And then the last one is the Recreation Commission meetings from August 23rd of 2023. The minutes have been distributed to you, and a majority of tonight's members were present at the August 23, 2023 work session. Commissioner Keegan, Beach, and Scott, I ask that you please abstain if you have not had the opportunity to read the minutes. Are there any corrections? None. Do you have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes as written from August 23rd, 2023, Recreation Commission work session.
Do we have a second? It has been approved, excuse me, it has been moved by Commissioner Bowers and seconded by Commissioner Rand that we approve the minutes as written from the August 23rd, 2023 Recreation Commission work session. I will now call for a vote. Please vote. Thank you. We have 5 voted yes, 3 people have abstained. The motion has passed. We're going to move on to old business, and we're going to look for approval of the latest revisions to the city's current Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Services Scholarship Program qualifying process. Is there anyone who wants to come forward and speak on the item?
Good evening. Good to see us all back in here again. It's been a while. I am bringing forth to the Commission the approval of the latest revisions to the city's current Recreation, Parks, Cultural Services Scholarship Program qualification process. I'd like to request to it be approved as presented with updated qualifications for scholarship applicants. We made some changes where we're relying on the Fulton County School District system to vet the free lunch and reduced lunch children. If they apply for a scholarship to the city of Alpharetta, then we look at them as having been vetted by the Fulton County Schools. We do ask for additional documentation, which is current driver's license, utility bill, verification of residency, and a statement on a Fulton County or a school letterhead that they have qualified for that program. We are keeping the current application for private school or homeschool children, and that has a lot more vetting that we do on our part with those.
Christine, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
This program, we settled on a fixed amount for the family, or do we settle on a fixed amount per child, or?
Fixed amount per child. It's $1,000 for a fiscal year.
Okay, per child.
Per child.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Oh, I didn't have to say anything? I got to read it. I move to approve the revisions as presented, is that right? As presented by the City of Alpharetta's Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Services Scholarship Qualification Process.
I'll second it.
Moved by Commissioner Rain and seconded by Commissioner Norton that we approve the revisions as presented of the City of Alpharetta's Recreation, Park, and Cultural Services Scholarship Qualification Process. I will now call for a vote. Please vote.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you guys for being here this evening. And I am here as a city clerk to give you guys a little refresher on open records. As you guys already have received your city email accounts this evening, we thought this would be a good opportunity to just kind of go over how open records applies to our board and commissioners. So if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me. Hopefully you guys should already be aware of most of this information, and this is just a refresher, but the state of Georgia, there is a portion in the state code known as the Open Records Act. So the Georgia State Legislature essentially declared that any acts of the government should be open to the public for inspection. So those acts even include ones by our board and commissioners, not just the elected officials or the employees who work here, but as folks who have been appointed to serve and conduct city business. Anything that the Recreation Commission does can be open for public inspection if it is requested. So just like this meeting is open to the public, so is all of the stuff that goes into that. So the act also declares that those records can be inspected by the public without delay. The state law gives us 3 days generally to respond. There are some exceptions to that, but you as residents or just anyone out in the world that wants to ask about records that the city has in its possession, we're required to provide those. The code also goes into further to describe what is considered a public record. So it's literally anything. It could be a document, it could be the agenda sitting at your desk, it could be a picture from a Parks and Rec event this past weekend, it could be text messages between commissioners asking or talking about what the weather was like last weekend. It could be anything. There are definitely exceptions to that, and we do take that very seriously, but the main thing that we're here to discuss today is city emails, which is why we have issued you all a city email address. Just some background of how it works within the city of Alpharetta. In 2022, the city received over 6,200 open records requests. They ask for any and all kinds of information. They will ask for emails between staff to maybe private developers or to each other, meeting invitations, text messages, applications, plans, minutes is one of the most popular ones. A big, huge percentage is also things like car accident reports, fire inspection descriptions, and court records. That's another big one too. So in the city of Alpharetta, we use an online records portal known as Just FOIA. There's a link to it on the city's website. So if you guys ever need any kind of documentation about a home that you own or something dealing with the HOA or anything, you can ask the city for a record of that. So once it is submitted, there is a tool that filters it to the correct department. That department reviews, compiles, and redacts any of the information that would be responsive to the request, or they provide a pre-retrieval estimate and says, hey, Commissioner Mitchell, thank you for your request. It's going to take us 2 weeks to pull all of James Drinkard's emails for the past month. So, and it's going to cost about $5,000 because he emails a lot. But we'll have that to you soon. So anytime that emails are requested, that's processed in the city clerk's office. We conduct a search. We notify the employee or the commissioner or the board member or the employee, and we review and redact that for any privileged information. Also in state law, not only does it say you have to provide things, but in the state law, it also says here are some things that you are required or that you may redact. There's over 50 exceptions to that rule, but the most popular thing are things like personal cell phone numbers, personal email addresses, any kind of medical records. Say that there's another jurisdiction that's wanting to hire a police officer that once worked for us and they've asked for their employee file. If there's any medical records in that, we withhold that. Anything that has attorney-client privilege or work product, trade secrets, development projects, specifically as it applies to this board, there is an exception for child information as it relates to registering for Park and Rec applications or things of that sort. So Redactions and open records requests are something that we take very, very seriously. If at any point there is something contentious or something that our office kind of sees as a gray area, we do not hesitate to reach out to the city attorney's office as well to have their second review. So just know that we do provide documents, but there are things that we can withhold if there's a valid exception. So kind of as this looks moving forward, today our IT team, they gave you two things, the Duo authentication app, which is the two-factor authentication that basically pings your phone and says, hey, Commissioner Beach, are you trying to get into your Alpharetta email? And you hit the big green button that says yes. And then they also gave you your Outlook email account. The two main reasons for that is open records and also for the city's policies on cybersecurity to make sure that we don't have someone, impersonating you to try to, take all the money from the world or something like that. Times are tough. For open records purposes, mainly if, say for example, Amber sent an email about an upcoming event and there was a contact somewhere out there that they wanted to know any and all emails that Amber sent to the Recreation Commission. I would basically create a search and I would type in all of your city email addresses and all of those results we would review and then provide. So by having a city email account, it allows us to conduct better, easier searches, and it protects you from having to dig within your personal email addresses to provide information from a personal account to the city. So moving forward, city staff is only going to email your city email account. So use your city email account only for city business and refrain from using your personal email account for city business. So if you ever have a question about your city email account or need help accessing it, you can reach out to our help desk team, which are going to be some of the folks that you just met in the IT department, or you can, always reach out to Amber, me, whoever you can find, and they'll help get you access. You'll also receive some training once a month that has like a nice little video that you can learn about cybersecurity and how it can help you. And just as a friendly reminder, personal email account, personal business only, city email account, city business. Just remember that just because you're using a personal device or a personal account doesn't necessarily mean that we wouldn't be able to have access to it under the Open Records Act. So say, for example, there was some big recreation program that this board was wanting to start and someone requested information about it, and you emailed everyone on the board from your personal email, I would then have to come to you and say, Commissioner Bowers, did you email about this on your personal email address? And then you'd have to give them to me. So we would hope that that would never happen. So just to make everyone's lives easier to conduct searches, city email, city business. Yes, do you have a question, Commissioner? Yes, sir? Yes. That's a two-part question. Technically, you wouldn't have to give us access, but we would have that conversation, and I would call you and say, hey, we received an open records request for this information. Do you have any emails from this situation? If so, would you be able to provide those to me? Some people will say, hey, here's my account. Do you mind to just do a search and make sure I got everything? Hopefully, most of the time, you're not going to have too many, and we can pull that out. But for the most part, I would never say, bring me your phone and let me search it. I would say, you tell me what you're most comfortable with. I would first say, do you have any emails? Have you completed a search? And you could provide those to me, or I could help you facilitate a search. So yeah, either way. Yes, of course. Good question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Should I raise my hand first? Am I allowed to use this account on an iPad and a computer rather than just my phone, or do I need to come back in and get a new Duo and an Outlook to add it to an iPad, let's say?
So I will be emailing you guys just a couple of reminders, next steps. It'll also have a link to the city's Outlook, or the 365 Outlook for the city. So you guys will be able to access that from an iPad or a desktop too, so definitely. But if you do have any problems with the two-factor authentication, just reach out and let us know. We'll see if we can help you troubleshoot. Hopefully it shouldn't be an issue, but yes, you can access it anywhere. Yeah, yes, exactly.
So I interact with the City of Alpharetta Parks and Recreation on a, I don't know, personal level, like I am garden manager.
Yes.
So would that come from my personal account? Because it's not coming as me as Cheryl, the commissioner. It's coming from Cheryl, the garden manager.
Yes, no, I get that question a lot, and you can do it technically one of two ways. If it were me, I would probably recommend and prefer that for business that's not tied to you as a commissioner and as you in your personal capacity, that you do it from your personal email account. Because in that sense, you're acting in your personal capacity, not as a commissioner, and engaging in an activity that is put on or promoted by the city. In the event that, say, you had an accident and you emailed from your city email about the gardening to another city email address, I would just caution that in the event that happens, don't put anything personal in that email that you would ever want to be exposed in the public, because the mere fact that you've communicated about personal business on a city email does not withhold it from the Open Records Act. So say, for example, in your on your city email account, Cheryl or crand@alpharetta.ga.us, you said, yes, I will definitely be at the Recreation Commission meeting next week. Oh, and by the way, how was your dog that was sick last week? Or how is the weather in San Diego? Or, whatever. We wouldn't be able to withhold the personal information if they were to request that specific email. I know that's a little bit in the weeds, but just caution that anything that you put in an email on your city email could be put out into the public because of the Open Records Act.
Is there a similar recommendation for registering for programs, summer camps?
So that's something that I know Christine will normally do, send out an email to all of our board and commission members. It's totally up to you. Just know that there are exemptions for recreation applications that we're allowed to withhold information. I would probably recommend doing it from your personal email. I'll connect with them and see kind of what we want our practice to be moving forward in terms of which email addresses those are sent to. I would hope that eventually we have a streamlined process or like an online application maybe at some point, but we'll see. So I'll connect with them and we'll come up with the best game plan, because I definitely don't want personal information to be put onto a city email account if it's not necessary. Good question.
Now, will our emails be published, if you will, on the city website, like any of the other public works, people who actually work for the city of Alpharetta? Okay.
No, they
So
will
there's
not.
really no reason we would get an email from outside of internal Alpharetta employees.
That is correct. There might be some request at some point in the future that says, I want to know every and all Alpharetta email account that exists, and there's probably a report somewhere that IT could maybe run to pull all of those accounts, but I don't think that we would blatantly post them on the city's website somewhere unless you guys requested that. For example, I know our development authority, they have requested city email accounts for that specific purpose in case that they're working on a project and they don't want it to go to their work email. They'd rather have a professional City of Alpharetta email that they could interact with people versus bradbowers@gmail.com when they're working on, more high-profile projects. So whatever is the desire of the board, we can withhold them or we could publish them to the website. There's no requirement in terms of the Open Records Act there.
We have a couple of things that we're looking at. One is quite possibly just because of cybersecurity issues, and you're seeing a lot of organizations move in this direction. We may actually be pulling all email addresses off of the website when we build the new one. The only way I would see us putting something up there as far as a way for the public to contact you would be we could look at creating a distribution that's, Recreation Commission, right? at alpharetta.ga.us. It's a fake email address. They click that, and it sends to all of you, but they don't see those addresses. That would be about the only way we would do it, and I'm not really anticipating that anytime in the near future. But if it's something you guys decide you want, we can certainly do that.
Yeah, I think I was thinking mainly if we get an email that really isn't in our purview, is there a protocol to send it to someone that says, hey, I got this and I have no idea, versus answering the questions or inquiries?
No, I think that's a good point. I think Amber, with being kind of the liaison to the Recreation Commission, would probably be the best person if you do ever get something suspicious or weird, or something you're like, this is talking about a pothole on South Main or the ugly sidewalk barriers on North Main. I'm going to just send that to Amber, and she'll figure out maybe where to go. So. Be like, delegate, it's great. But no, that's a good question too. Anyone else? No? Okay, well, thank you guys for your time. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you guys for your time and for allowing our IT department to meet with you. If you have any trouble at all, look out for my email, and the help desk ticket will be there. Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, we're going to move on to our division reports, and if we could start with community services.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Great, thanks.
Good. So October is a wonderful month for our Community Services Division. Out at the farm, the Alpharetta Box students launched their micro business this last month, and they have been having great success selling their boxes. They go on sale 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, and they've been selling out every week. So that's very exciting for them. They also launched a new product this year, which they have to develop entirely on their own and use ingredients from things that are grown at the farm. So their new product this year is dehydrated sweet potato greens. Yes, Jeremy, I thought the same thing. But apparently they're highly nutritious and are great in smoothies as well as in hot water for broth. So they're on sale now. On sale now.
And Amanda, are the sales just at the farm?
No, so Alpharetta Box is on Instagram and Facebook, and we as a city host an online store for them through Square, and you can purchase, anyone in the community can purchase. You purchase on between Tuesday and Thursday, and then you pick up at the farm on Friday mornings.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. This week is their Thanksgiving box, so it's a little bit higher priced. If you visit the site today for the first time or this week for the first time, it's higher in price than their usual boxes. Their usual box is $35, but this week it's $50 because they're including a centerpiece, a hand-poured candle, their new product, which is their sweet potato greens, and a recipe book to go with it. So this is all student-run, and as you all know, the funds, 50% of the funds go back to them in the form of a scholarship. So their goal for this year is, for each of them, there's only 2 students this year, and they each want to clear $1,000. So that is the goal they set. Our October classes, which you have in your packet, we have wonderful classes going on in October, or that happened in October, a great variety of classes, and we had great registration for those classes. Also in October, we hosted our fall picnic. And it was when we had that cold snap in October. If you remember, we had a few really cold evenings. So we were out there shivering, but we had a great turnout of about 40 to 45 people. We also had a local middle school chorus group came and sang for us, which was really sweet. We had games for kids, so it was a lot of fun. And it was delicious, and it's a fun way to end the year. Also in October, we received the Environmental Award from the Fulton County Citizens Commission for the Environment from our district. Old Rucker Farm and our community agriculture program was nominated by Commissioner Bob Ellis. And so that was really exciting. We went down and received that award. We did not realized that we were going to receive the awards. That was a nice surprise, and it was quite an honor for us. In the month of October, we had 5 different corporate groups come out to work at the farm. So we got a lot done, getting everything cleaned up for the end of the season. And we also had a group of YMSL young men come out with their moms, which was also wonderful. So you guys have some pictures of that in your packet. And then definitely worth mentioning, and so it was so special to us, was the Alpharetta Rotary came out and helped us begin our kitchen remodel so that we can have some much needed work done to make our space just a little bit more delightful at the farm. So we have that as a long-term project, and they just got us started. So that was really wonderful to have them out there. Coming up in November, we have a great collection of classes. Again, those are all on ActiveNet right now. And we're seeing really great registration for those classes. We're doing many of them at the log cabin, which is new for us. We're really excited to have an indoor meeting and education space for our classes, especially as the days get cooler and the daylight, there's less of it. And last but not least, our registration for the 2024 growers programs launched 2 weeks ago. We had a 1-week head start for our existing plot renters, for folks who have rented plots at the farm. And then yesterday, it opened up to anyone else for plots at the farm. We are fully sold out. We sold out by last night. We only had 2 that were not returning. And so our home memberships, our home growers program is still available. Obviously, we don't have a limit to the number of growers for the home program. Any questions for our community services?
I have one question. I think during the summer we were talking about banners, and I don't know if there was ever a decision made on that topic that you could.
Yes, great question. Actually, we had Kevin from Signorama. He came out to Old Rucker Farm about 2 weeks ago, last week, and took all the notes that we had for all of the signs that we need to have done entryway, not entry off of Rucker, but entry into the farm on the fence. That also will be part of what I bring back to you all. The plaques, we had to find a good location for where we're going to put the sponsor plaques. And then we will have the banners, and those will go along the fence on the road, but he's going to put together some mock-ups of what that can look like and sizing, and so that we can really see what that will look like on the fence. So I'll have some, hopefully by the 1st of January, because we don't have a meeting next month, I'll have some visuals for you to see.
I think we're not creating any restrictions with that just yet, or because I think there was some debate in terms of the sizing of how big those should be, or if a company wants to have theirs bigger because they want to stand out more than somebody else. I don't know if we ever decided that, or we're leaving it kind of free form.
So what I had presented to you when we had that conversation was there were specific sizes, and I believe that we determined that the sizes that I presented to you were smaller than the ones that were on the fences at Wills Park at the ball fields. So we were going to set a different size parameters, but they weren't going to exceed anything that's currently in our parks.
Any other questions? None? Thank you.
Thank you.
Cultural Services. Kurt, I think you're going to present for Kim.
Hold on. I should have practiced this. There we go. Okay, good. How'd I do? The last time I was up here, I covered for Kim. I thought I did a bad enough job and she'd fire me, but she asked me to do this again. So bear with me. I got technology going. It's also, I left my reading glasses at home. So let's get started here. Last month, highlights, Family Day at Alpharetta Art Center. You see the photos that were presented. Looked like a great time, great weather. Also last month, we had the National Arts and Humanities Month and a celebration of that and a proclamation from the mayor and city council. And that was also a huge success. Some of the monthly initiatives that have gone on. I don't know if you've been over to the community center here in the last few days, but last week we completed another one of our art crosswalks in front of the community center, and you can see how it turned out great. From my understanding, the kids that are coming to the classes are loving it, so they give it a thumbs up. So we're going to continue to do those as we develop other areas and other parks, and so far. The great thing about it is they're holding up. They look great, and they continue to look great. So, we also are working on the final stages of a MOU with the mall, North Point Mall, to do the Spotlights community theater. So you can kind of see the diagram there. The hope is everything will kind of go through the process, and maybe we can launch, in the spring of next year as far as performances.
Is this a new space, or is this the space that they've been in all along?
It's a space that's been there all along. It's just we're just repurposing. It's just like another, if a store leaves and another store comes in, you come in and you kind of make it your own. So yeah, they're working with its own existing space.
And Kurt, you may or may not know, but is that stadium seating or is it just all flat?
It's not stadium seating.
Okay.
No, it's flat. Yeah.
Thank you.
And the visitor sculpture, which is behind City Hall, just to give you guys a heads up, that's going to be revised, and the artist is beginning to work on that in November. So when it disappears, don't worry, it's going to come back. It's a very popular sculpture. Again, just want to make sure that it's not going to be permanent. It will come back. And then the last thing on the monthly initiatives is the public art in our parks initiative as far as the Greenway manholes and the artist murals. That was sponsored by the North Fulton Rotary. They've been working diligently for the last year or so to try to get this to happen, and it's actually happening. We had a rain out on Saturday, but they had a successful day on Sunday and got some of them done. They hope to get most of them done this coming weekend, weather permitting. To give you for kind of familiarize with where this is going, if you're at the Haynes Bridge access on the Greenway and you turn left going north to Rock Mill Park, you basically, before you turn left, there are 2 manholes, and then there's another 7 manholes going north. It's local artists, mainly students, and also some other artists as well. So I would check it out. It's really going to enhance the experience on the Greenway.
This was an idea they had years ago. I remember the arts Alpharetta was going to do it.
Yeah, it's been something the idea's been tossed around, for a good bit. Different groups have tried it, and without success. The Rotary Club was successful, and they're utilizing the community to kind of do that. Some of the other ones in the past were artists from other areas and not necessarily from the community. And I think that's what really resonated and kind of put this project over the hump, so to speak. you can look down, and as far as the monthly happenings, I won't go over those, but you see what's coming up in the next month. You got, just kind of go through these. They got a lot going on. And really looking forward to working with Kim and her group as they continue to grow this program. And it's a success over the last few years, and it's been an honor to work with them so far. If you have any questions that I may not be able to answer. So, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go to the Recreation Services Division report. Christine?
Christine, do you know, is this She Loves Me by the Act One, is that a Christmas theme, or is?
The which one?
It's She Loves Me. The Act One Community Theater is doing it in December.
I don't really know.
Okay, I was just
Sorry, I
curious.
can't answer that for you.
That's all right.
Because it's not going to fit. I got it. Yep, thank you, James, for coming to my rescue. Appreciate you. All right. Hello again. We have had a very busy month in the month of October in the Recreation Services Division, and I just wanted to share some of those things with you. Some of you may have attended some of these fun things that are going on. Let's see if I can get this to work here, sorry. Okay, mid-October we had Wire and Wood that came to the city, and we had that for 2 days. Great turnout, great event. You can see the number of people in attendance was over 15,000. No, they can't. Oh, never mind. Hang on. Oh, I'm not sharing, am I?
You are not.
Sorry.
It's okay.
While they're figuring that out, the show is actually a warm romantic comedy with an endearing innocence and a touch of old world elegance, but there's nothing in the write-up that says it is holiday related.
Thank you, Amber.
Okay, it does not like duplicate.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's why. You should have come to my rescue to begin with. Thank you.
There we go.
All right, thank you, James. You are my hero. All right, let's start over here. Okay, Recreation Services. So Wire and Wood, October 13th and 14th, great turnout. Over 15,000 people attended those 2 days. We had a little bit of a drizzly night on Friday night, but we still had a great attendance. We had 6 stages, 42 performers, and with that we had an addition of 16 music match performances that were all around the city, the downtown area. And it was a fantastic turnout. I think that people really enjoyed themselves. We had some amazing sponsors this year, which you can see the list there. And we had some great new ones, and we had some old ones that really continued to add to the program that was going on out there. Scarecrow Harvest, that went through the month of October, and we had a total of 91 community scarecrows and 45 business scarecrows. And out of those, we had 5 winners. We had 3 judges that went around. Laura Jessup and Dana Davis was one of our volunteers, and Brian Thomas, who works for the city, and they went around and judged all of the scarecrows. We had categories from the coolest scarecrow to the most creative, to the scariest, to the laugh out loud, and the most recycled scarecrow. And great winners, and they were all announced at the Boo Bash. The Boo Bash was held on the 21st behind the Alpharetta Community Center, put on by the staff at the community center, and excellent turnout there as well. Kids had so much fun. I think the adults had some fun too. But we gave the awards to the Scarecrow winners out at that event, which was really great to see kind of the marrying of the divisions. When special events came into Recreation Services, it was a great partnership there to have special events crossover with the regular Recreation Services events. Lindsay just knocked this event out of the park. Last year was great. This year it was here. This year she just went even higher. We ended up with over 2,000 people. She had a bunch of sponsors, tons of vendors, and it was just a great day. You can see that bubble picture is probably one of the best pictures I've seen all year. Just so much fun. And that little kid in the middle that's dressed like a dinosaur, that is crocheted. That is a crocheted costume. That mommy was busy, so great fun. We had the Veterans Day celebration. I think Jit came to that, and we appreciate him being out there. That was out at the Adult Activity Center. We had about over 100 participants that came out and enjoyed a lunch. Staff was out there serving our veterans and thanking them for their service. And it was just a fun afternoon out there at the Adult Activity Center. Silver Spokes. That program started in April, and we just completed it this last month. And as you can see from the stats, we had over 45 riders, 7 trips. It provided stronger lungs and hearts and socialization for all of our riders. They just had the best time out there on the Greenway. And you know, it's a really great program. Our staff does a fantastic job riding up and down the Greenway with them, and we're looking forward to it resuming in April. Season of Celebration, that's our next big events, I should say. That starts actually this Saturday with our annual tree lighting ceremony. I'll be giving you a handout at the end of my talk here, and it will give you all the information that you need to come attend that tree lighting. It starts at 5 o'clock. The actual tree lighting is at 6:30, and it ends at 9. We're going to have characters out, holiday characters out there. We're going to have nutcracker dancers and a chorus that's going to be up on stage. The stage is going to be set up in front of City Hall. We've changed up the footprint a little bit. It's not going to be out by the tree, but the tree will be the focal point as you look up Commerce Street and we light everything up. It's going to be beautiful. And it's just going to be a fun evening. So I encourage you all to come out for that. And that is also the start of the holiday food drive. The food drive will be collecting food through December 18th. And there's, on the back of this, it also has what the most needed pantry items are. This is being handed out all over the city. Collections will be at our recreation centers, as well as the shelves that'll be in front of City Hall, the trees where you can drop off food 24/7, and around the downtown area. 2 weeks after that, we have a new event called the Holiday Hop and Shop. And that starts at 9 in the morning and goes till 4 in the afternoon. And there are 4 unique markets around the downtown area. One at Innovation Academy, which is the Downtown Business Association is putting on a market. And at Avalon, they are putting on an artisan market. Over at the community center, they have the Heartfelt Holiday Market, which is a special needs market where they produce all of the items that are there. And then we also have a pause event over at the Hamilton, which will be really fun. Pause and, what's it called? It's a dog event. I don't remember the name of it. I'm so sorry. But it'll be really fun for the pet owners to come and enjoy something that, pardon me? Pogo? I'll get that. I haven't gotten there yet. I hadn't forgotten. And at the ACVB, they are going to be having photos with Santa from 9 to 12. So the cool thing about it is we are going to have shuttles going around to all of these places from 9 to 4. So we'll be able to get people around and to these different markets without getting in their cars and driving all over downtown. And the last thing is there will be a wrap shack. So if you can take up to 3 gifts that you've purchased and you can take it to the wrap shack downtown, and they will wrap it up for you. So that'll be a really fun event. And the last one that we're doing is Flicks and Flurries, which is a new event. It will be on the town green, and it's December 16th. It's from 6 to 8, and we're showing 3 short Christmas movies and having our holiday movies and having snow and all sorts of fun things for the kids and families. Oh, and the biggest thing is the photo snow globe. We have a photo snow globe that you can get in, and yes, it's going to be so much fun. Okay, Morgan's going to be the first one in there taking pictures, I think. I just wanted to give you an update on our 32nd annual Taste of Alpharetta. We had 4 vendors that applied to run the event, to be our vendor. And that vendor that won the bid will be at the November 27th City Council meeting. They will be voting on that and approving it. Hopefully, they will be. It's already gone to workshop, so we'll go ahead and get that moving forward. There's more in-house involvement this year. the last 2 years, the vendor has done a lot more, but we're bringing some things back in-house. One of those is our relationships with the restaurants. We felt that it's really important that we had that one-on-one relationship with them. We know them really well, and we want to take that back in-house. One of the other things that we will be doing is we're collaborating with the Convention and Visitors Bureau with the marketing. They are taking on the marketing for us, and we are so thankful for that, and they're just going to do a great job and knock it out of the park for us. And the last thing is that we will also continue to be collaborating with the Police Department and Public Works in getting them involved in the event. Oops, sorry. I'm going backwards. How did that happen? All right. I just want to bring about an award that one of my staff members received. Lindsay Pritchard received the Jeff Pruitt Inspiration Award at the GRPA District 7 Awards Banquet that was held at Preston Ridge. And it's a much-deserved award for her. Jeff Pruitt was an employee, a longtime employee in the Recreation Department over in Roswell. And he was just a stand-up guy, was a great professional, and contributed a lot to the recreation and parks profession. And he actually passed away a couple years ago. And we created this award for him. GRPA created this award, and it highlights someone who is very inspirational in our profession, and Lindsay won it this year. So we're very proud of her for that. Couple of other things with my staff I just want to point out. We've had a ton of staff training going on this last month. We had 3 employees go to the National Alliance for Youth Sports in Baltimore. We had Lindsay also went to the National Recreation Parks Association conference in Dallas. And myself and Morgan and Kurt and one of my coordinators, Alan, went to the GRPA conference week and a half, was that last week? That was last week in Athens. So lots of training going on. So we're really excited about that. And a couple more things here, and I will be done. And I'm going backwards again. I want to talk just real quick about a program that we have out there that I just want to highlight. It's called Tot Time. And it is the little program that could. I mean that with the whole sense of the word. It started off with 2 or 3 kids coming, and now we have over 40 kids coming each week. It actually started off, I'm going backwards again. We actually started off the program as a music and movement program, which is the first and third Fridays of every month, except for the really super cold months. We don't do it then. And it's out at Pavilion 2 in Wills Park, and we have a wonderful couple that come out and they sing and play, and they just create a musical environment for the kids. And it started off there with Kim Unger, who was one of our administrative assistants, and she left and they took it over. Well, from that sprang Tot Time. So Tot Time is actually every Friday right after music and movement. And the kids go in there, and Jenny Hyde is the one that has created the program and runs it, and they just make the most fun things. They also have a great relationship with Amanda out at the farm, where she supplies them with fresh vegetables and herbs to make pizzas and all these other fun things that they do in there. So I appreciate that relationship out there. And it has just really grown, and parents love it. So I just wanted to highlight that. Jenny has done a fantastic job. Uh-oh. Now it won't go at all. Was that my last slide? Oh, that's why it won't go. Okay, and I think one last thing is that our summer guide is in the works. It will be available online on February 9th, and registration begins on the 28th for residents, and March 13th it will be open to everybody. And this year's theme is, drum roll, Morgan's theme is coolest summer ever. So that's what it's going to be. Last year was best summer ever. Now it's coolest summer ever. So look forward to a cool activity guide for the summer. Any questions?
No questions?
All right.
Catherine, do you have a date on Taste of Alpharetta?
Pardon me?
Do you have a date on Taste of Alpharetta?
It is May 9th. Yeah, coming up.
I know.
It'll be here before we know it. Thank you.
Okay, it says Park Services Division, Part 1. Eric? I'm just reading what's on the paper.
How's everybody doing? let's see. The last couple of months, we have now hired the 2 vacant positions in the downtown district. We hired 1 park tech and 1 downtown supervisor. Both of these positions were desperately needed for basically basic routine maintenance downtown, innovation, and the special event support. So they were, and these guys so far have been great. Blowing the walkways off. Crabapple does it, but these guys are out there 2 or 3 times a week blowing everything off. So it's they're making a huge difference with just little things like that. Also, several of the outlets in the tree wells have been repaired and raised, and some of them relocated to where the car doors aren't hitting them when you open the door. We just replaced 12 of the 23 missing trees around City Center, Commerce, and Park Plaza. We still have about 11 more to go. This does not include the 6 trees on Main Street that need to be replaced. All the concrete planters, they just did the seasonal plantings in those. All the planters were cleaned, and the monthly initiatives, the next couple of months, we will be focusing on the underbrush over at Innovation Academy, like cleaning up the fence lines and raising the canopy of the trees. And also, we will be routinely adding sand and topsoil to the fields at Innovation. That lower field needs a lot of sand, and Doug's wanting to activate that field as a smaller soccer field for the little dudes. So that's what we'll be working on the next few months over the winter. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Eric?
You bringing in the goats for the underbrush clearing?
No, we're using hedge trimmers and chainsaws, which I know you love.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, thank you.
Park Services Part 2.
Good evening.
How are you?
Doing well. Fall sports are finishing up. They've been very successful this year. Athletic fields, staff's done a great job keeping those fields in great shape. Obviously, we didn't have a lot of rain, but they were able to get a lot of work done with them, as well as a lot of the common areas and some areas along the disc golf course. Just trying to repair some of those before they wash out again. Entrances to the ACC and Rec Center were all pressure washed, and we had some shrubs that were removed from the ACC. John and his group came last weekend and helped us in the ACC as far as spreading mulch all around the front of the building, side of the building, and did some work inside for us. So thank you for that. That helped tremendously. Horse shows have continued to be well attended. We have our GHJ Finals horse show, which will be moving in tomorrow. Had a horse show last weekend, Monday and today to clean it up. Tomorrow we'll have horses on ground. So I'm thinking we'll have close to 260 horses on grounds for the rest of the week. Oh, wow. So yeah, it'll be a well-produced horse show. And let's see, then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 more horse shows to take us through the end of the year. So
you're running out of time, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say one thing. First of all, I'd like to thank Matt, and I think it was Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
That came over there. They staged 150 bags of mulch for the Rotary Club. We had 33 international students, and this was the first time most of them have ever seen mulch. So they spread it out, and then the ones that weren't spreading were in the gym, wiping down the gym and everything. So thanks to Morgan for letting us use the gym, and thanks for Matt for coming over and spending part of his Saturday morning with these students and stuff. So big thank you from the Rotary Club. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thanks.
Thank you. That's it. And the last one is from a title I haven't said before. Senior Operations Manager Monthly Report. So congratulations. Senior Operations Manager.
Thank you. I didn't hear that. Well, good evening again. What I'm going to focus on today, usually we focus a lot on the bond. and we've given an update on the bond, and those are progressing as planned. Yeah, Mid-Broadwell Park is moving along, yes. But one thing we haven't really focused on in previous meetings is what's been going on as far as our capital initiatives and some of the other initiatives that's going on this budget year. And I've given you a little bit of a snapshot of what's been going on. I mean, you can see there's a couple pages of different projects. This is just a snapshot. It's not what this department does and what we do and work together to do to accomplish providing good services for the citizens of Alpharetta. But one of the things you're gonna see is how much and as I've become senior and work more into the senior operations manager role, I'm gonna highlight how much our staff works together. It's not just project manager, it's not just park services or rec services. We work together and try to come up and try to plan what's best for the citizens. And you can only do that when you get the different perspectives and the different experts in the different areas that we have. And an example of that is at North Park. We are converting some more of our tennis courts as part of our normal resurfacing initiative into pickleball. So that, I mean, you're going to have, you got your lower courts, you got your upper courts, and all the lower courts are now going to be pickleball. Our staff, Kevin McDonald with the rec services staff, and Chris Anderson with the park services staff, have been working to get that accomplished. We've got phase one completed, which is basically the conversion of the pickleball, tennis to pickleball. Phase two is going to be happening with the perimeter fencing being replaced and enhanced over the next couple of weeks. So we hope to have that project completed by December 1. You can see some of the other projects that we're working on. Miracle League is replacement for that surface is another initiative that we'll have this year. We're also going to be upgrading the signage over at North Park. And then wayfinding there to enhance that direction a little bit better. Wedbridge Park, we've got a couple things going on. One is a sponsorship with the Baseball Association, which is basically making the dugouts larger, giving a little bit more space for them to operate. The dugouts were designed really too small, and we're giving them the dimensions to match what we have at Wills Park. We're also having to replace some shade structures over the bleachers over there at the complex as well. And those are getting close to completion as well. So you see the Web Zone playground. We are also in the procurement process of that, getting close to finalizing that is going to replace all the wood structures over at the playground at Wedbridge Park. You know, those are also in bad shape, just like the Wacky World. So we're going to be replacing all that, and it's going to be a really nice playground, something that will compete with Wacky World, we think, and it's going to anchor the east side of town. So we're excited about that happening. And then one of the other things that we've been working on, you're aware of our athletic lighting initiative that we're trying to work on our ball fields. But we also have indoor athletic facilities that, you know, we can't forget. So we really started our initiative this fall by upgrading the lighting in our gymnastics facilities, which is an athletic facility and is an athletic program. So we've got, you know, both of the facilities upgraded LEDs. If you haven't gone in, if you've been in there and haven't gone in here recently, you can see a big difference, and you can see what we're trying to do as far as the lighting initiative and what we're trying to do with the enhance the play and the activities at our facilities. And then a couple other things I want to highlight. These are things that we are working on with different different organizations, such as Fulton County Water and Sewer. I think you are aware of the Greenway, that the Sewer Department of Fulton County has been working on some enhancements along their sewer easement. Well, that involves a good portion of the Greenway. That has been a year-long process, and we're really at the very ends of that. So once they're doing their punch list. And so that's completed. Last week, our staff took a lot of abuse, but our staff worked with the Fulton County vendors to get the concrete that was damaged replaced, and all that's completed. So we'll no longer have any closures on the main trail. We still have one more phase of concrete repairs on some secondary accesses that'll happen in December. But I just want to extend a thank you to Eric Milley and his staff, because the people of Alpharetta love their Greenway. And if you have to shut it down for any reason, whether you give them a day's notice or a week's notice, they're going to let you know about it. And I have to commend them with the way they conducted themselves, and also getting that project completed. You have any other questions?
Any questions? Thanks. All right, thank you. Director Rogers, do you have anything you want to say tonight? No comments. Commissioners, anything you want to report about, talk about? None? Oh, we do. Commissioners, Scott?
I'll be brief.
Okay.
Just a little quick updates on the Wacky World project. We do have our official build dates set for next year for the community build of Wacky World. It's going to be a variety of days that are in early October, or excuse me, November. Early November of next year will be the build dates. As some of the events that were brought up during the Recreation Services Division, when we have the tree lighting and the holiday season events, we'll be kicking off some wreath sales where the proceeds will be going to Wacky World. The brick sales are going well. We've been trying to get out in front of the public at a lot of these events that were talked about, the Boo Bash and the concerts and the Brew Fest. We've been making a lot of public appearances to try to raise awareness here over the last couple months of the Wacky World project, and working hopefully to get some key level sponsors and naming opportunities completed here over the next few months. So just wanted to give this board a quick update on the process.
Okay, thank you. We don't have anyone here for public comment, so can I get a motion to adjourn? Can I get a second?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
It is, excuse me, it has been moved by Commissioner Rand and seconded by Commissioner Beach that we adjourn the meeting at 6:45 p.m. I will now call for a vote. All those in favor, please vote. And we are adjourned. Thank you.